Hello YouTube viewers, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. Today is the final day of putting back together the floor in our 2013 Mitsubishi Fuso. Before we get started, make sure you stick around until the end for the tips and tricks, because today is a very easy one that'll help you out. Now, the first thing that we need to do is get some paint on the pieces that we're going to be putting back together. This is so that once they're put back together, we have a good coating of paint in between the layers so we don't get corrosion happening between the layers. I've mixed my chassis saver paint with the S8 reducer because I'm going to be spraying it. If you want to apply this by brush, you can do it straight thickness, you don't have to thin it out. What you do need to do is take what you're going to use out of the can and reseal the can right away. When you're resealing the can, you need to use saran wrap in there, otherwise you will never get the lid back off again. Trust me, this stuff will glue metal together stronger than the metal. Great stuff. Now, this is the paint gun that I'm going to be using to spray this. This on the side says it's an R100. It's an HVLP touch-up gun. So it doesn't have a lot of capacity, but for the small areas that I'm doing, it's basically doing touch-ups. This gun has a 0.8 tip in it. I have attached an additional dryer here. I do run my shop air through a desiccant dryer prior to coming to this, so this is really just getting the last little bit of. And I've got a little pressure regulator on here that I'm going to be running about 15 psi. This does not use a lot of air. It's nice because there's not a lot of overspray because it is HVLP, high volume, low pressure. It's mostly just pushing out paint. There are separate adjustments here for the amount of paint and the amount of air, but really this is about a $35 Canadian paint gun. Well worth it. So if you're doing a decent amount of paint with chassis saver, I'd recommend spending the 35 bucks plus a couple other bits and pieces to get yourself a spray. It comes out really nice. Right then, on with the show. Now that the paint's done, I have to actually go back and take the paint off, it's a bit counterintuitive, of the plate that is the structural reinforcement that goes underneath the floor, just in the areas where I'm going to be spot welding back to the structure. So once I've got that done, I'm going to lay a bead of sealant around the edge and around the holes, and I'm going to clamp it in place with this special clamp that I made because I didn't have any other tooling to do it. Well, that about wraps up the floor repair. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. I hope that helps someone. If you have a question, post it down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. Now, I did tell you I had a little tip for you. This one's very basic and very easy, and most of you probably know it already, but if you're new to the Fuso or any cab over truck, you may find that sometimes it gets hard to lift the cab. That's because all the weight is behind the hinge. Very simple thing to do, shift the weight forward. Just open your doors. Now, this cab doesn't have any seats in it right now, so it's already very easy to lift. In fact, by doing this, I'm going to have to hold the cab back from going too fast. But opening your doors and shifting that center of gravity forward makes a world of difference in trying to lift your cab. If you're struggling with lifting your cab, try opening your doors. Well, thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss the next video, and if you enjoyed the content, give us a like. It really does help. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.